Good evening and welcome to the Select Board meetings for September already, September 5th, 2024. Start with your pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance.
It's to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and justice.
Okay. Take action, a one-day license, alcohol license for the Lennox Fire Department at Camp Mackinac for September 15th for the Jas Billings. I'll make a motion that we grant the license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Farmers Market update.
So, we did have a good season.
Yay.
The vendors all seemed to feel that they had sufficient enough sales that I believe all of them will be returning for the 2025 season, which we will probably start somewhere around July 4th. But of course, no decisions have been made, and it would be the Agricultural Commission that would finally make those kind of decisions. What we have done is we have decided to extend the current season to the end of September.
Nice.
So we have 3 more Wednesdays that we're running it. We are running it from 3 just to 5:30 because very few people were showing up after 5:30. All that, of course, is subject to discussion for next year. Anybody who wants updates can go to the Facebook page of the Stockbridge Farmers Market or to the Stockbridge Community Board page, where it's also updated every week. Or they can email farmersmarket@stockbridge-ma.gov, and then be put on a list, and then they will get email updates. What we're going to be doing very soon is we're going to be applying for a state sustainability grant. The Department of Agriculture has opened up applications that I believe that we will probably qualify for, partly because we are a food and agriculture only market. So we are really in alignment with what the purpose of the grant is, which is to help local farmers, especially both of our produce vendors, in addition to being organic farmers, are also practicing regenerative and sustainable farming practices and have been for decades. So I think that we have a reasonably good chance for those reasons. Plus also the farmers market is really the only source of fresh produce in the town of Stockbridge for people. And due to the generosity of the Berkshire Agriculture Venture Group, that gave us a $1,500 grant, we're able to provide really good, healthy food to low-income residents. But that grant process will take a few months. And as a matter of fact, I'm attending a Zoom session tomorrow where they have hints on how to apply. Which of course open to everybody. So and they do have limited funding. But just as an example, I believe that last year, although it's a much bigger market, I believe last year Great Barrington got a $10,000 grant. So we'll see what happens. I will be keeping the Agricultural Commission in the loop on this whole process and anybody else who wants to be in on it. I don't know if anybody else wants to be kept in the loop on it or not, but if you do, you'll be kept in it.
Thank you.
That's good.
The one thing that we are planning to do for next year also is what other markets do, which is to go to local businesses and ask for sponsorships. Many other markets will get donations from local businesses that they use that money to double the senior market coupons. I don't know if you know much about senior market coupons, but it's something given to low-income seniors in the town, Stockbridge. And we are having trouble with getting that money staying in the town because other markets have funding to double the value of the coupons, and we don't. So that's something we'll be working on. let's see here. We are still looking for other vendors, if we can find any other vendors that want to show up. But most vendors are pretty set in their ways or staffing issues or whatever. So we are probably going with our same group. Let's see, I think. Any questions?
No.
No, it's great. I'm happy it worked out.
Yeah,
They put a lot of time and effort into it.
Yes, it's good. Otherwise,
Yeah.
a lot of wasted effort.
And it's definitely staying just a farmer's market. We're not gonna add.
Yes, I
any
believe that that's sort of the mandate of the farmer's market is to
Yeah, stay.
as food agricultural only. Yeah.
I don't see it turn into
A craft shop?
a crap show like.
The one thing I do want to point out is I have had some people have, when they show up at the market, they go, how come it's not bigger? How come you don't have more booths? And I say, well, if you look at the number of food booths we have versus other small towns, we have more. We just don't have
The
all the
craft.
craft stuff,
Yeah.
because they're used to that kind of thing. I have to explain it to them, but
Yeah. Because most of them turned into more of a crafts. Most of the farmers
a lot
market.
a lot of the other little towns of our similar size they're either crafts or prepared food.
Yeah.
And the prepared food idea is something that we can look into more for next year if you want to. Did not happen this year. And if I think that's a decision of the Agricultural Commission maybe to decide that, I guess. It's not really my decision. So I think they would be the ones that would decide that, or maybe it's the select board. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I would say it would stay with the agricultural
Yeah, just
commission.
stay.
The money was appropriated for this position for the agricultural
And the-
commission.
the agri-
Stuart's done a great job. I think the only logistical thing that we've realized is that we'll do a better job next year making sure no events happen other than the farmer's market for parking issues.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh,
And
Only a couple days.
everything did finally kind of work out. So, and we have in the off season, we can address any small issues like that.
Yeah. Earlier in the season, we had a bus trip by the
Oh.
Council on Aging. That was booked months before, but it happened on a Wednesday that caused some congestion.
Oh, right.
So in preparation of next year, knowing that we're going to do it on the Wednesdays again, we will put out to people not to schedule any events on Wednesdays, try not to schedule any board meetings we'll black out those times for our tenants and town hall not to hold anything that would draw extra people because we want to keep the parking open.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Most meetings are after 5:30 anyways.
Yeah, but we just ran into a couple times, so just logistics.
What?
Food trucks,
Food trucks?
just for that 2 hours, gets more,
Well,
Then you get.
There's so many never May ones, it might be nice. to-
it's fine with me. It's just not my decision as far as I know.
Just an idea to throw out.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we allow?
And I don't know.
Do about
We
it.
don't allow food trucks.
What?
No, we don't allow food trucks.
I'm not sure by our bylaws.
No, we don't allow it to sell.
Check, we can look into that for next year. We have plenty of time to plan it out. We're facing some of those logistic issues like parking and stuff, and we'll do better. Each year, we'll try to improve upon it.
It's town property.
Yeah.
I know you ain't got a problem selling ice cream at town property, you have to ice stand, they gotta do that.
Well, I think
That's the bylaws. I'm just,
I mean, I've read all the bylaws, I don't remember it, I could have missed it, but. Anyway,
It's in the zoning. I'll check to make sure. But it's not something we have to focus on tonight.
no,
Long-term thoughts on
long-term
how
thought.
to,
And I believe that if there was going to be prepared food, it was going to be offered first to the local businesses if they want to come down and have a booth there.
Yeah.
Before we would just,
oh, yeah.
can we prioritize mac and cheese?
We'll send a truck directly to your house, pipe it in through your window.
Okay.
I might be kidding, I don't know.
Thank you, and thank you
Thank
for your
you,
hard work.
Stuart.
And I'm glad
It's been fun.
glad it paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appointment of Cemetery Commission, for the Cemetery Commission. We should have an opening, so anybody who is interested, please get a hold of the town offices. Appointment of project manager for the dredging project.
I did send to the board just an outline of what's been happening to date and what recommendation I'm moving forward. So since 2019, Greg Wellencamp's been the project manager overseeing the dredging project. He was appointed by the Board of Selectmen. I'd like to thank Greg for his work over the number of years that he's been involved. But one thing's become apparent is that we need to reset this position a little bit, because one of the things that hasn't happened and we need to make sure is happening is get regular updated reports back to the select board. Did talk to Greg about it and talked with other people who've been involved. And right now, the recommendation is going to be, as with other projects, whether the Tuckerman Bridge Chime project, is to have me as town administrator, act as project manager, coordinate with GZA, bring all decision points and regular updates back to the select board. I plan on at least doing quarterly updates as to where this project is so that we can keep everybody informed. And then I'd work with town officials and other individuals to assist in fulfilling those duties. To me, this is an operational one at this point. We're relying on our engineering firms to do most of it. So most of it's just coordinating with them and making sure that we're moving ahead and making sure that whenever a decision needs to be made on what direction to take the dredging, that it gets before this board. So.
And so where are,
We need a motion or?
You would have to, because right now Greg's the appointed, if you're gonna appoint somebody else, if
So
you're
we
gonna
just
appoint me
make a
as
motion.
project manager, would be making a motion to appoint me.
can we just talk a little bit about where the status is? Just give people an update.
So right now, so the biggest thing that happened probably in the last number of months was we did try to apply for that inland dredging grant, which really outlined what the next 3 years would be for the dredging project in order to take it from there to completion. And that's where it really began, all right, where are these updates? How are they getting back to the board, and how can we better do them? So we didn't end up getting the grant. We will, hopefully the grant opportunity will show up again and we will reapply again for the grant. But what we'd like to do is really focus on, I would like to really see us focus on, just like the grant would have been, 3 years to get us to construction and bidding, and then have the project actually happen. So I think in order to do that, setup that we'd have going forward would get us to that point. And obviously, 2 years in, we'd have to figure out where the funding would all come from and the rest, and then get
What
ourselves.
does it cost us to get to the point where we can,
It was estimated to be just shy of $400,000. That was the dredging grant was going to be 290,000, and 100,000 of funds that were already appropriated through CPC. We have 197,000 based on what is in our accounts that can go toward planning and design, which will get us through FY25 and a good chunk of FY26 as far as the permitting. And then if we reapply for the grant, we should be able to go after. If the grant stays in effect for at least the next couple of years, in 2 years, we should be able to apply for the construction element, which was up to $2 million. Because you have to be within 2 years of actually going out to bid on the project in order to go after the construction.
I get that, but once they opened up to dams, that became a much lower percentage grant.
Opportunity, yes. All of a sudden, if it was just dredging of lakes, but when it became dredging behind dams and reservoirs, it really opened up. I mean, reservoirs were in the original one, but then when they opened it up to dams, yes.
Did we position this dredging at all behind the outlet, dam, or did we just focus on this is, there is a dredging component that is down by the outlet. I don't know.
Yeah, it would the outlet area and various other areas around the lake where we'd be lifting the sediment to lower the lake. A lot of it was around the outlet.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it is a dam. So, position as such, it's not just a lake dredging project.
Right. But like you said, it went from maybe
It was a sure thing to not so much.
communities to being even eligible to all of a sudden, almost everybody has dams that could be dredged. So
You're thinking that it's 200,000 more in this fiscal year that we have in place.
We have right now 197,000 in place.
And that'll get us through the next town meeting.
Yes.
And
And
you're thinking,
even into FY 26. The funding though, to get us through 27 and 28, in order to get to construction, we're gonna need about another 200,000. Hopefully we can get it through the grant. We'll try. If not, we can approach either CPC, SBA, or whoever for additional funding to get us through the remainder of the design element and then get us to the actual construction for possibly the summer of 2028. And
Okay.
that would be a goal to try to shoot for if we can get all the permit and everything else lined up.
okay.
So should we make the motion?
We gotta make.
Oh, I think we should see if anybody
Make
wants
the motion, we
to.
gotta make the motion and then open it up to,
Okay,
right, you gotta make the motion and then open it up to
You make a
discussion.
motion and then open it for discussion.
I make a motion that we appoint our town administrator as project manager.
I'll second it. So discussion from the public? Anybody?
Sounds very good.
Go ahead, Don.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Sounds very good. I think we need a new direction. I think Michael's the person to do it. He's got the resources, he's got the contacts, and I say go for it.
oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up. It really needed to be done for a long time.
Yeah, it's been kind of lingering. We gotta really get this moving.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I
Anybody
got.
else? Seeing none. Any discuss with the board?
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Another thing on your plate there, Mr. Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Update on the accounting position.
So you think it's September, you think that in December, January meeting, we have that first update?
Yes. So I originally had put this on the agenda to just do an overview, but I was able to actually finish up my looking into after we lost resignation of our town accountant, I began looking at what our options are, whether to go out to hire a new person, how many hours do we really need in the position, re-examining what's happened over the last couple of years. Speaking to a couple other town administrators and managers, I was brought on to a company called Aponte and Aponte Municipal Finance Consulting. They do accounting services for a number of towns, Princeton, Mass, Sunderland, Sheffield, and Hadley. So I spoke to the town administrators and got nothing but glowing recommendations on the work that they do. I think this would be a good fit for the remainder of fiscal year 24. Reevaluate at the end. I think that what it would do is, one, we'd expand the town clerk into a town clerk's accounts payable position for the remainder of this fiscal year. Expand the role in the compensation, so I'd move her into the financial sphere that we had set up for the town. That would increase her pay, but she would take over the responsibilities of the weekly vendor warrant, the weekly payroll warrant, time off tracking, uniform allowance tracking, posting of treasurer's receipts, monthly distribution of department expenditure reports, and then be the keeper of the records. The duties that we'd assign to Aponte and Aponte municipal financing for an estimated 42,000 a year would be preparation of required journal entries, monthly journal entries, reconciliations of cash, reconciliations of our trial balance, police detail, fire grants, and revolving accounts. Annual entry of the town's budget in the SoftWrite, our accounting software, creation of new accounts, preparation of the Schedule A, assistance in the tax recap, certification of free cash, and the annual audit support. Third would be duties, and that would be for approximately 42,000. I would absorb the duties of the Schedule Z. The Schedule Z is the allocation of your solar credits. It's something that we had a couple issues with last year, which I have rectified with National Grid already. We set up a new balance sheet to track our credits better through Excel. And one where I have it color coding whether or not the account is, whether the credits are growing or shrinking, so that I can, 6 times a year, you can adjust the percentages of the credits and where they're applied. So I would take that. The other thing is when we set the treasurer's scale, when I started looking at the account, if we brought a new accountant in, now that we have longevity, if I was to bring an accountant in that had, say, 5 years experience, I would put that person at year 5, not at year 1, if they have municipal accounting. When we had brought Erica in as our town treasurer, she had 8.5 years. So I'm recommending at this point that we also increase her pay to the 8.5 years of municipal experience. That's about 1,800 more. What in total this is that currently we have 73,000 plus benefits toward the accountant. This proposal would reallocate and adjust 56,950 of the base salary. So we would save on benefits and we'd save about 17,000 in outright fees. The company would also, for a time and material cost of $75 an hour, assist us with the closeout from last year, which I would use some of that 17,000. So,
So what are the benefits? What are the benefits that were associated with the 76.5?
what's that?
I'm sorry, what are the benefits that were associated with the full-time position?
Health insurance,
And I know what, I'm sorry.
about $35,000 worth of
So basically the savings here is 35,000 plus
17.
17
Which is-
minus whatever your $75 an hour.
Right.
So, you could buy 800 hours a time and we still would be saving taxpayers money.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yep. And we'd evaluate at the end of the year whether or not this is working. And if it is working, continue this on. If it's not, we could reevaluate whether or not we have to have an in-house accountant.
And how does the increase for the town clerk, is that a separate line item on the check? In case we
Yes.
reevaluate it, we're not.
We would split specifically out. She would get be paid out of the accountant
Okay.
salary and it would be under.
So if this doesn't work out, there's the understanding
And
that,
already,
Oh.
she's doing it. I temporarily put her in this position with a letter saying that this was a temporary appointment by me while we figured out what was going on. This would now be an appointment for the remainder of this year for that additional fund. And then at the end of the year, we'd evaluate and either make it a permanent change.
and is that a 4-day or 5-day-a-week position?
Which one?
Is that a 40-hour position?
The clerk, the
The
accountant
account.
position was a 4-day position.
But what about,
Was
many
under
hours?
Ray a 3,
what was it for the,
many
what was it for the clerk?
4 days a week.
Okay, and is that going to remain at 4 days a week?
It would remain at 4 days a week. She would absorb those duties. And if she has to put in extra hours to get the duties done,
There's no overtime, or if she needs some time on the 5th days every now and then to get her job done, that's included in the third.
that's included. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, so Patrick.
Overall, I think it just, it adjusts the compensation accordingly. I think it's going to allow for efficiency and in accordance with best practices. And I think it's a good step forward for the remainder of this year and then reevaluate. I'd probably recommend reevaluating this sometime after February. How's it going? Is everything working out? If it is, make a recommendation next year's town meeting and make the proper adjustment.
Is it 35? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Would the counseling service be from now until December 31st or from now to
Calendar
February?
year.
Oh,
Calendar year.
Oh, calendar.
I mean, no, sorry, fiscal
Fiscal
year.
year.
Yeah. July 1st through June 30th.
Okay.
We'd be contracting with them to handle all of our accounting.
But starting now.
Starting now, they would go back because we haven't been able to do our reconciliations and the rest yet. So we're a couple
Exactly.
months
We're not
behind.
going to be paying them as of July 1st. We're paying them starting now.
Now.
We're starting now, but
But they go till
the work
July.
that would need to be done and they're going to be catching up work. So it'd be,
But nevertheless, it's 42,000 annualized, so
yeah,
it'll be 30 something.
42,000 for a flat fee to take care of FY24 for the entire.
Okay, so it is the full 42, even though it's a 9-month. Is it staying at 42 next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, because we haven't been able to get the reconciliations or any of those done, because we're still closing out 24, they'd be, whether they started now or not, what it's going to cause is for them to have to do a bunch of extra work over the next month to get caught up.
Does your benefit calculation include OPEB?
Yes. And I can give you an exact number on that if you'd like.
I would love to see it.
Because I have it broken out on another spreadsheet for the firefighters. We broke out everything. But it's roughly about 35,000 per person. As a general for benefits.
Okay. Do we have to make a motion or?
Yes, at the board.
Wait, the financial impact on budget. But that's offset by savings, right? Under number 5.
Yes,
Yes.
we have 73,000 plus benefits in the budget right now.
Could you say additional expenditure?
The total, sorry, I shouldn't have put additional, the expenditure, I should.
It's like an offset.
Additional, should have said expenditure of 56,000.
It's not additional.
Yes, not additional. So it's a, yes, it's less than
Put
what we
committee
would have
words.
done is just a simple payout of the accountant's position. And the benefits we wouldn't be paying out this
Make a
year.
motion, we appoint a Fonte unless there's someone who wants to come.
Second.
Any comments? Public? Seeing none,
All in
Yes.
favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. With that, oh, we got time.
Wow.
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Thanks, everyone.
Favor?
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
did you have a question?
Didn't you have a,
No, I said thank you,
do you
everyone.
have a,
No.
announcement you wanted to do?
Oh, I left it at home. I'll do it next meeting.
Okay.
Have you decided if you're gonna?
We made a motion to adjourn. Should we adjourn?
Oh, wait, I mean, have you guys figured out what you're doing with the chair?
She's thinking about it.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay.
Decide next meeting.
Up to you.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.